How are you doing? Yeah.
Easily said, this is the place and the time to be. This moment is for real, Historico. And today we're going to talk about, well, many things, but well, first of all, let's start here. Here we go. So we don't need another certificate, right? There's many Bitcoin certificates out there, some of them from big names. Others are quite extended, long, super technical. What we need today is something that helps us accelerate the Bitcoin adoption timeline in the world. And here's the thing is that it's not that easy. There's quite some challenges. The first one, and Antonopoulos famously said, Bitcoin is technical and complex. And Bitcoin is basically everything we don't understand about money mixed with everything we don't understand about computers. On top of that, most people are afraid of change. Here in Latin America particularly, people, they just don't want change. At first it's like, oh no, I have to relearn, I have to do things for the first time again. And if that's not enough, there's a bigger challenge. And it's aggravated, and it has to do with us. First, it's like most learners have no financial foundation. We kind of tend to forget that. And second, people tend to overcomplicate Bitcoin. I have heard definitions about Bitcoin that I'm just like, where do you learn this? Right, I was just really confused. And then third, and this is one that hits home, we, all of us, Bitcoiners, we tend to start too technical, or we tend to tell things in pieces. Kind of like this guy explaining a bicycle. He's like, whoa, there is a pedal, and there's this thing called a wheel, and there's a handle, and not even Satoshi can move it anymore. And that's not how it works, because we tend to be super enthusiastic, at least I do, and well, then we don't move things forward. So if you don't believe me, some of you might relate. This is Exhibit A. This is how you look, orange peeling. So this is your poor aunt at Thanksgiving, and she just said the turkey is more expensive today, right? And then boom, here's you at Thanksgiving, and then boom, sudden orange peeling, right? So what do we need to do for things to change? First, we need to recognize that there's a big opportunity. Here in El Salvador, 30% of the population is entrepreneurial. That means established business, startups, and also informal little shops and sellers. And then what we have today is we have this cheaper, better access to technology. And at the same time, we have all these fast compounding changes going on that, well, you could argue they create more challenges, but challenges and problems are new spaces for opportunities. So if we put these three together, we think that if we empower Salvadorians today with personal finance and Bitcoin education, we can help make a dent. So today we design learning that teaches Salvadorans to build, to operate, and to lead the future of the Renaissance. And I want to show you how we're doing that, and then just go into examples. It's going to be visual, it's going to be fast, because that's how we intend to do it. So, but first of all of this is possible thanks to the Bitcoin office, to Stacy's whole team. We are kind of like the underdogs here, but from today on, we are officially the ones who have the responsibility to educate a nation in Bitcoin. So I'm really happy about that. I mean, we're kind of like the underdogs here, and my partner Adam couldn't make it in the last minute due to a visa problem. He's here with me in the heart. But we are super happy to announce that we will be working together with the Bitcoin office for the next months. So that you understand our philosophy, first you need to know how we think and how we operate. And how we do that is we kind of inspire ourselves by Einstein's 5 levels of intellect. I don't know if anyone in the audience knows this. Have you heard about the 5 levels? Yeah, more or less. I see some hands. Okay, no, that's a fan. Okay. So Einstein says that there's 5 levels of intellect. 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. Nobody wants to be a number 1. Everyone wants to be a number 5. And the first one is when you're smart. You kind of like you're in the streets, you can make fast decisions. It's like you see a problem, okay, boom, here's a solution. You see a wall, it has a fissure, boom, Band-Aid, right? You just have like a fast solution for everything. But okay, we all know low time preference and so on, that if we take more time to see other perspectives, to rethink what we're doing and rethink the solutions, then eventually people call us intelligent. That's awesome, you know, like someone calls it, wow, this guy or this girl is really intelligent. Cool. But what happens if you take even more effort, more time to develop your ideas into better solutions? Then people eventually call you brilliant. And what's about brilliant? If you're among the best, if you go into the 0.01% of the population, then eventually people will call you genius. So who knows here for certain what comes above, what's above genius? What do you say? Savant. Savant. Could be, who else? What? I heard something. Oh. I just hear some random words, but no one's like very sure. It's like, it's that word. Anyhow, Einstein thinks that the biggest problem, do you have the, sorry? Bitcoin. I wish. This is a really good one. Thank you. Anyhow, Einstein thinks that the problem with genius is that genius, if a genius writes a book, it's going to be a massive book. It's going to be complex. It's going to be technical. But when you take time to truly understand the mechanisms of life and physics and how things work, and you understand them so well that you're able to take these mechanisms and explain them to others who don't know about it in an easy way, in a visual way, in a fun way, and eventually you reach a level called simple. And think about simple for a second. Simple. Einstein thinks that the high level of intellect is simple, because when you can make things simple for everyone, everyone understands. You can move the world, you can move mountains. So this is the main word that we are using to develop the Bitcoin curricula. So what's our teaching philosophy? First, we jump all the way to simple. Jumping all the way to simple is quite hard, because when someone else invests 1 hour into putting a curricula together, like maybe a specific topic, we need to put 40. We need to understand everything so well. We need to visualize. We need to go into feedback rounds again and again, ask people who have no idea about what's going on, so that we can make it simple. Second, we have like a true north, and that is to explain people one thing and one thing only. Bitcoin is simply the best money we have ever had. That's it. That's our goal. That's what we want people to learn. And the third one is we do so by making the process visual and make it fun and straightforward. So from now on, I will be showing you some examples that, well, all of us will relate to. Just how we do it is a mix of digitalization, visualization, and gamification. But let's go to the example so we can have some more time. Imagine psychology. You want to teach low time preference versus high time preference to people that most likely have high time preference, right? You need to make it visual. You need to come with different examples. So you tell them, okay, well, today, if you eat unhealthy and you don't exercise, tomorrow you will be unhealthy. But if you do the hard thing, you know, if you choose low time preference, today you eat healthy and you exercise, tomorrow you will be super healthy. And then you move to another one because, okay, this one might not hit home for everyone, maybe to just a few. Today you watch a lot of stuff on TikTok, Instagram, whatever people do, and well, you waste your time. So tomorrow you will be non-confident, potentially unskilled, and even lost in life. But if you do the hard thing, if you learn today, if you take the time to train your mind, to train your skills, to train your body, and so on, then tomorrow you will feel skilled and focused. Same example, you know, I'm just showing you like the different perspectives because some might hit home to some and some to others. Today you waste money buying stuff. You go shopping, you get everything what you desire. Right on the moment you see an ad, it's like, I buy it, it's gonna come in 2 hours to my house. Well, in El Salvador, like in a week. But tomorrow you will be poor and trouble, right? But if you do the hard thing instead, if you save and you live with moderation, then tomorrow you might be wealthy. At least you have a chance. So these are examples. I'm gonna move to the second one. Imagine monetary system, why money exists. We need to make it accessible for every Salvadorian. So we explain, we have a trade here. We have a banana guy selling or trying to buy something from a fisherman. The banana guy has bananas, the fisherman has fish. The banana guy says like, hey, I want a fish. The other one says like, yes, I want some bananas. Awesome. The trade is possible, right? But what happens, the banana guy asks for the fish, and the fisherman has fish to offer, but he needs a knife to fillet the fish to prepare them. Then there's not going to be any trade. So, okay, cool. How can we solve that? Oh wait, let's make it even worse. Now you have the banana guy, he wants fish, goes to a guy, the number has been surpassed, the ones who know, mostly everyone. He says like, hey, I need some fish, and the guy says, well, I need shoes, but I can offer you sheep. So these people are never going to trade. So this is the moment where all of you will feel satisfied, because you can say like, boom, Bitcoin fixes this, right? So it's kind of like we start showing people and explaining why money needs to exist, but we need to start very slow, be very visual all the way. Or if we want to explain the Cantillon effect, we need to take a very easy approach, explain them, you can see a big, large institution very close to a government or to the source of the money, getting most of the fiat in this case. And then you can see like, in the case of you're getting very little or maybe nothing. Now, for example, if you want to show transactions without third parties, you need to make it visual. You need to make the guy that is getting a part of your transaction and so on, and then you need to show Bitcoin just coming directly. And you see on these animations, they are just prototypes for now. This is all going to go through proper designing and so on. But the idea is, how do we show more complex things? For example, here you can show that energy needs to be equal in a formula, right? You need to produce as much as you consume. So you show, well, if you enable Bitcoin, you could take more like green energy, right? So you have +2 energy units, +2 is 4, but then the city only needs 3, so it's 4 minus 3 doesn't equal to 0. So you can turn Bitcoin mining so that you can balance again. And these kind of examples, we will put them into different steps so that people can follow along, so that it's easy. And so that the sort of resources that inspire us are the following, particularly, every single one of them. I can choose a Bitcoiner. And the second one is one where we put our inspirations, because Adam, my partner, who couldn't be here today, and we wrote it together on Stable Innovation. And it's free for everyone. And people in El Salvador, there's over 2,000 people that have read the book already. And when someone is around the middle of the book, for the first time in the chapter called Game Theory, in the subchapter called Sound Incentives, then we slowly start opening their minds so that we can introduce Bitcoin to them. To finalize, and this is the last example, we include activities in the new curricula. And this is our favorite one for now, because it makes people, it puts people in a situation when they have to think what's wrong with money. So when you have already learned about the different properties of money, and you will find some visualizations and animations in the introduction, we have this really beautiful activity, design your own money, give it a name, a currency code, an issuer. You have to describe how it maintains scarcity. You can do, draw the supply and reward and the years. You have to draw how the money looks, a symbol, and then where it reaches where it's accepted. And then you come forward in the class and, you let everyone else criticize why that might work, or most probably why it might not. So, everything put together, we are WeSpark. We are an innovation agency. We moved from Germany to El Salvador earlier this year. And what we're trying to do is, we are using education as the first input. Just putting all our eggs in the same basket, education. Once education is working well, then we move towards activation. Then the courses, the programs go more in the direction of, okay, how can we empower someone to become an entrepreneur? After activation, we help people develop new businesses, because we start with the acceleration part. But the idea, everything what we're doing here has a single purpose, and a single purpose only. And that's to allow our country to prosper. So my name is Nelson Inno. Thank you for your attention, and everything what I want to say today is that if any of you feels that you could support us all along the way, following the principles of Bitcoin and transparency and so on, we need your help, because we're here to do something big, way bigger than us and way bigger than El Salvador. And for sure, we will need your support. So thank you for your attention. Oh, 5 seconds left. MC, Toro. Ah, okay. All right. Bye, everyone.